Hello, my fellow flawless, limitless, sexy, sassy, saucy HBICs. How are you on this lovely morning, afternoon, or evening? How are you all? I hope you're all doing fabulous. I hope you're all choosing to be the versions of yourself that have exactly what you want. I hope that's what you're doing. Today, we're going to be talking about that fuck it technique again, along with how it can apply with reality transurfing and keeping that same energy of fuck it. Okay. First, let me just say if you'd like to work with me in any way, shape, or form, all of that information is in that drop box below, including the channel memberships. I just want to say, first of all, this probably sounds a little cocky, but my memberships are great. They are amazing. They are so uplifting. It's legitimately like we're all hanging out together at my house, having a wonderful evening. That's exactly what happened in our memberships last night. I cannot encourage you enough that if you are someone that maybe wants a manifestation buddy, now by buddy, I mean, we're hanging out in a community together. So I mean by that, not a bitch session. But if you're someone in that place and maybe you would like just some encouragement, maybe you want to deepen your own understanding around manifestation, I highly encourage you to join the VIP, the Advanced Manifestors group. That's the group that we deep dive manifestation. We're going to read everything. We're going to do the lectures. We're going to do books. We're doing it all in that group to expand our awareness. Expanding our awareness, deepening our knowledge around manifestation is only going to serve you, deepen your belief, and make living in the 3D a little more comfortable. Just saying. But the reason why I consistently point out that group is because that group gives you the access to all of the memberships and all of the recordings in case you miss a night. So, gentle reminder. You can see what kind of a video this is, so there will be no editing. So all the ums and noises are going to be in here for your entertainment. Back to what I was saying. So last night's memberships were off the chain in the most, what I refer to as the zhuzh train. There were so many successes in the exclusive lives group, so many amazing perspectives in the advanced manifestors group. This is a group, and by group, I mean all three. They are so encouraging. They're so encouraging. Listen, when someone shows up and shares a success story, and it's kind of, similar to what you're manifesting, that's a BBL for you because you're always experiencing your reflection. That's the beauty of this. And oh my God, it just lifts everyone's mood. It's so great. And why I'm bringing it up specifically in this video, outside of the fact that, hey, it's a little, what do we call it? Self-promotion? Guys, when I put up that video yesterday on the fuck it technique, it's not really an actual technique. It's just what I labeled the video. But we've all had those moments where we just come to that place of fuck it. As a matter of fact, I was using that phrase long before I knew about conscious manifestation. So we've all used that phrase in moments throughout our life, I'm sure. However, what was so amazing, and once again, very validating for me, clearly my reflection in my own reality from my perspective, was there were multiple people that showed up to the groups sharing how they had just had a moment or the thought ran across their mind as just like, fuck it. I'm just done. I'm done with techniques. I'm done with worrying. I'm just done. I'm just going to stand in my decision that I am who I say I am, or, something along those lines. There were multiple people last night reflecting that, saying that my video went poof to them, not because of the video itself, but because of how it was exactly what they had been thinking earlier in the day. More and more evidence and validation that you are creating your reality. And again, I know I actually say don't use the word creating because we're not really creating. We are becoming aware, but out of habit, we still use it once in a while, don't we? But it's more evidence. It's more evidence that what you're experiencing in 3D reality is your reflection. Oh God, it's such a zhuzh that friggin' exclusive lies group. That is the success stories and tips and tricks only group. It is amazing. I cannot encourage you enough that if you're feeling alone, if you're feeling frustrated, if you are interested in deepening your knowledge about manifestation, join the Advanced Manifestors group. Join it. You won't regret it. And I consistently hear that. That is the feedback I get. I get email after email of people telling me how they are shook on how encouraging all of the groups are. And even the hot seat group that can, it does come with a trigger warning because circumstances are talked about in that group as we are, answering questions. But even sometimes, having someone else ask a question that directly reflects what you're manifesting can be encouraging. So I just can't say it enough. And to all my channel members who are already in the memberships, I love you all. I sincerely mean that. I am thankful for you all. And thank you for lighting up my definite Tuesdays and Friday mornings every single week. Every week. Now, how is all of that relating to today's video outside of, there were plenty of people who were thinking, fuck it, yesterday. It brings me to Vadim Zeland's perspective, or one of his principles of reality transurfing, the illusory technique, or excuse me, the illusory effect. And I'm going to read you a little something from that. Give me 1 second. And let me see if I can actually be kind of high tech for a minute and share the screen so you can see and read along with me. Give me one. Share. I feel so tech savvy in these moments. Not really. Okay, share. Okay, sorry, I can't edit out all these little pauses. So the illusory reflection. The principle is people are like the little kitten that stands in front of the mirror, not realizing that it is looking at its own image. You might think you are at the hands of circumstance, which you are incapable of changing. But this is an illusion, fake prop, which you can easily dispel if you want to. Unconsciously, you are going round in circles. You observe reality and express your relationship to it. The mirror confirms the content of your relationship to reality and waking life. It is like a closed loop feedback system. Reality is created as a reflection of your thought forms. And the nature of the thought form is, in turn, largely defined by the reflection you see in the mirror. The principle of creating your own reality lies in turning the loop in the opposite direction. Look at yourself first and only then in the mirror. So the interpretation of that principle is when a person is attached to the mirror by their relationship to the world, a primitive response to reality. If you don't know what that means like a caveman, a basic bitch response, right? How you're reading reality. If you're still looking at reality and thinking that it's just happening to you and you have no power to change it, and you're just going to have to deal with what happens and accept it is what it is. Not everybody can be successful. Not everybody can have love. No, that's a caveman response. Okay? They try to chase after the reflection equally as primitive in an attempt to change some aspect of it. Now, let's try and turn the mirror circle backwards. First, we express our relationship to the world. The mirror consolidates the content of this relationship in reality, and then we observe reality. What do we get as a result? There is no longer a primitive and powerless assertion about the reflection. This is replaced instead by a deliberate, purposeful assertion of the thought form. Instead of habitually expressing dissatisfaction about what you see in the mirror, turn away from it and start creating a picture in your mind of what you would like to see. That is the way out of the mirror maze. I love that. It's one of my favorite lines. The world first stops and then starts to meet you halfway. When you take control of your relationship to reality, outer intention will begin to work. And for outer intention, there is nothing that cannot be realized. All you have to do is switch your attention from the reflection to the image in front of it. In other words, take control of your thoughts. Don't think about the things you don't want and try to avoid. Think about the things you do want and are striving to achieve. So let's get back. So, kimming down, which I think, to be honest, Vadim Zeland really doesn't need to be kimmed down. I think this particular book is an easy read. But if you're struggling to understand what he's referring to as the mirror maze, that's your 3D reality. Before you knew that you were consciously manifesting, before you were aware of that, you were living stuck in the mirror maze, thinking you had no power to change things, feeling like life is just the way it is, nothing I can do about it, not everybody can get what they want, all the old shit conditioning that we've all had. Now, again, this isn't me trying to push you into a new technique. This is me saying, hey, maybe that good old fashioned fuck it technique might just help you. It might just help you to stop over analyzing everything, to stop being afraid of your thoughts and being afraid that they're going to manifest. Now, I did see a comment where someone said, I had a fearful thought and then it manifested. So I'm very now afraid of my thoughts. It was something like that along or under yesterday's video. Listen, I understand. Sometimes 3D reality isn't fun. And sometimes we do see or experience things we don't like. But listen, we're only labeling them that we don't like them because we are judging and comparing reality to maybe a previous life experience, which really you only experienced because of a shitty belief somewhere out there within yourself. And that's not to blame and shame. That's to say, hey, the whole purpose of all of this is to understand who you truly are outside of the human physical body you have believed you were, and only that. It's understanding that you are source. You are. You. Do you understand? You are source. You are the only cause. That's how Neville Goddard refers to it. You are. So in other words, what you're experiencing out here is your reflection and trying to fix reality, trying to fix the reflection in the mirror, trying to fix the mirror maze is where everyone gets this wrong. Instead, you bring it right on back to you. Who are you? What are you really focused on? Are you allowing the mirror maze to throw you around? Again, I've said this before in an example of, if you're wearing makeup, like I wear makeup, and you look in the mirror and you see your mascara smudged underneath your eye, which I know is annoying and has happened to me multiple times. Think about this as, how are you going to get that mascara off your face? Are you going to start rubbing all over the mirror? Or are you going to turn within and wipe that mascara off yourself, off the actual face, off the person, the self that is looking into the mirror? We don't wipe the mirror down unless we're using a little Windex and cleaning. But outside of that, no, you know as well as I do, you come over here and you wipe the mascara off. So why are we treating life any differently? Why are we out here trying to rub off our mascara in the mirror maze when we should be coming over here and making a fucking decision? And when I say make a decision, I say, who do you want to be? What do you want your life to look like? How do you want to feel every day? What experiences do you want to have? If you're manifesting a specific person, how do you want to be treated in love? Take the focus and attention off of your specific person. Take your focus and attention of a lack of money, bad health, whatever it is you're manifesting. Get the focus off of what you don't want. Let's declare, fuck it. We're not going to fight our thoughts. We're not going to be afraid of our thoughts. And we're only going to live our life and keep our focus as best as possible, right? We don't have to be perfect, on who you want to be, on what you want to experience. And when you find yourself caught up in the mirror maze, see it for what it is, as you are source. This is exactly why I have said in countless videos, and we're going on years here of me saying it, years. Remind yourself who you truly are. Whether you see it as pure, unadulterated consciousness, unconditional love, the I am, source, higher power, source energy, God, higher self, whatever you call it, whatever you believe is your true essence. Maybe you call it soul. Maybe you think it's just your subconscious mind. I don't care what you pick. It's your reality. You get to have any perception you want. But if you would take a moment and just remind yourself, wait a minute, whoa, 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 whoa. I am source. I am source. I am pure, unadulterated consciousness. I'm in control here, not out here, not the mirror maze, not the 3D reality or anybody in 3D reality. I am. So what do I want to experience instead? Who do I want to be? Who am I declaring in this moment that I want to be or that I am? Who am I saying I am? Fuck it to any rules. Fuck it to any other techniques that feel overwhelming or annoying, or you're just no longer vibing with, and just make your decision. Again, like I've said countless times, you can be any version of yourself. All you have to do is stop fighting with your 3D. We had a really good insight, couple of them insights that came in both channel memberships last night. One of them was, one of our HBICs, Bryn, she likes to remind herself that she is source. So when she's experiencing things she likes or doesn't like, she remembers or reminds herself that, I'm source. I'm source. So this is my reflection. We don't have to deep dive and figure out why it's here. We just make a new decision. Fuck it. We had another insight that I thought was amazing, absolutely amazing. And of course, I'm thinking of her really long username, Surfing Honeybee, I believe it is, Surfing Honeybee. She came to her own fuck it moment and has accepted this is her reflection. And coming into that knowing, reminding herself of who she really is, she came to the knowing that some of the inner conversations that she had been practicing, she can now perceive and see, wow, some of them were still kind of victim statey, Look how wonderful the moment was that she came into that understanding. Do you realize that is evidence of her own shift? Or else she wouldn't have been able to perceive it. This is always working with you. It's always meeting you where you are. Answers always come. Downloads, knowledge, it always comes once you stop fighting with the reflection, with the mirror maze. I love the mirror maze. Doesn't it feel, when you're involved with your 3D, when you're fighting with the 3D, doesn't it feel like you're stuck and you can't seem to break out of a cycle or out of an experience? You can't seem to get 3D to change. It's like being stuck in a maze. Yesterday's video, I said it like in a corn maze. You're stuck and you can't find your way out. Everywhere you turn is just another wall of corn stalks. So stop fighting. Fuck it. Stop. Decide who you want to be and trust yourself that you know who you want to be. You know what your heart's desire is. You know what your inner intention is. You just keep reminding yourself of that. It's working. It's working even when you think it's not working. We also had multiple people show up last night, reminding us that they had moments where they were totally what we would have labeled as not being in the state, not being in a favorable state. They still experienced movement. Now, is this me telling you to still marinate in shitty thoughts? No, they don't feel good. So, of course, we don't want to marinate in them. But we don't judge ourselves if we're there. We don't judge ourselves. We don't have to label it as bad. We don't have to label it as it's going to ruin my manifestation. When you are in the knowing or the awareness of being source, you stop being afraid of those moments and realize no one is truly judging those moments. What we would call out of the state. Even that can honestly be that fine line of a limited belief as well. Meaning, we don't know the unfolding. So who's to say we're in a bad state? Who's to say? Maybe that's a part of the unfolding. Maybe you needed to get into that state to be able to perceive something else for you to level up to a more favorable state. Maybe certain things needed to happen to bring about your manifestation. That's my whole point, is getting into the habit of stop judging yourself, stop concerning yourself with making mistakes or messing things up or things getting in the way of your manifestation. Stop trying to be logical. Stop fighting with logic. Another one of our HBICs in the membership last night, Bella, brings up, what would I actually be experiencing, or what would I be thinking if I wasn't thinking of logic or trying to logically understand and figure out how something's going to unfold? What if I stopped thinking logically all the time? That wasn't a direct quote, but that's kind of what her message was. What if I got out of that logical trap and just started allowing myself to be who I want to be, to see reality the way I choose to see it? What if I started doing that? Yeah, what if you did? Life is gonna get great. It really, really will. I know, I'm sorry. I'm really excited today because, guys, I've said this. I've got over 1,000 videos. This does work. This really works. I make content because I want people to find this. I want people to feel the way I do. Excited for life again. I had decades of not being excited for life, dreading it, dreading waking up in the morning. I've had lots of those moments, and I never want to experience them again. And I don't want anyone else to feel that way either. You can change your life with a change of perspective, of understanding you're the source. You're the person looking in the mirror, and your 3D reality is the reflection back from the mirror. Stop wrestling with 3D reality and instead step into the power of who the hell you are. So on that note, I'll see you tomorrow. Remember, fuck it.